Welcome back to Impossibly Unremarkable, a podcast hosted by myself, Jonathon Butts, and my longtime friend, co-host, and tatted boy, Elliott Markson.
That is right, and it is another episode of this podcast, and we're just two men on the bomb squad trying to disable a bomb. We don't have much time. Which wire do we cut? Red wire, yellow wire, red wire, yellow wire, red wire. Which one? Which one? Which one? We don't have much time. We don't have much time. We blew up. Isn't that right?
We're going to insert a bomb sound effect.
Please
right
do.
There. And
Please
it's
do.
It's going to be super loud.
Yeah.
It's going to be really off-putting.
Yeah, blow their eardrums out.
Setting the tone for the episode.
Absolutely. Let them know how explosive we are today.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
You look great, man.
Thanks, dude.
Your haircut.
Yeah, I got a haircut.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out.
Yeah. You need to get a load of this because this is a brand new haircut, and I had to go with a different barber. Or I went to the same barber, but I had to do a different person this time because the guy who I was going to, Hassan the barber, shout out Hassan, don't know where he is. He doesn't work there anymore. I checked the roster, and he wasn't on it, so I had to book. I actually, I was a little risky. I just said any of them, whoever's open. And then I showed up.
How else would you have decided?
I don't know. I would have picked the coolest name, which turns out I got the guy who I would have picked anyways because his name was like Hollywood Williams or something.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it was sick.
How long have you been seeing Hassan?
I only saw him twice, so we weren't that connected.
So you didn't really get to establish
but
like
he
a
did a
true
great
rapport.
job both times.
But it's still a little bit like having your heart torn out when your barber leaves.
It's like, he was doing a good job, and I was worried I wasn't going to get a good haircut from this other person. But, everyone over at Stilo Cuts, they know what they're doing.
Before this barber, you went to Great Clips, right?
Correct.
That's just...
Yeah.
Will forever be wild.
But shout out Hollywood. Dude rocks. Can't remember if his name is actually Hollywood Williams, but it's something. Hollywood something. You'll know. It's Hollywood. You'll know it when you see him, too.
It's been really good to leave a lasting impression on you like that.
Yeah, he was great. Really enjoyed it.
Part of his name and everything.
I finally don't look like shit anymore when I go into the office. When my hair gets too long and raggedy, I look like I'm just not all the way there,
I could use a beard trim, but what I'm worried about is I don't know any barbers nearby, and near the new place that I live in, and I feel bad abandoning my old barber.
Wait, you're gonna drive all the way back to your old barber?
Like I might.
That just seems like too much.
Or plan it around when I'm gonna be in town, anyways. Cause
I
like,
guess.
I still live with my mom in that area, so.
But then you never know how long you're gonna go between haircuts.
That's true.
You could
It just feels like betrayal.
It's not.
It does.
It's business, baby.
I've been seeing the same barber, going to the same shop and a couple barbers within that shop, but since 2019.
Wow.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah, you're a faithful customer.
I am.
Look at you. This guy, and when he finds someone he likes, he sticks with them.
And I tip very generously. I'm not saying that to puff myself up. It's just the truth.
You're a good tipper.
If a barber does a great job, they're going to get a ton of money.
This guy's got a good tip.
Now, that's the only service industry in which I will tip.
You only tip. You only tip your barber, huh?
I'm kidding.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you're doing good. What have you been up to this week?
We're still in the process of moving.
Nice.
I've had a couple things happen that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And most of them, if not all of them, are completely slipping my mind.
Wow.
But here's one thing. I'm going to tell you about a dream I had. And I don't want you to make fun of me.
I won't.
But I'm going to preface this by saying probably my all-time celebrity crush is Alison Brie. If you're not familiar with her, she's an excellent actor.
Excellent.
Probably most notably known for her role as Annie on Community.
And the horse girl.
And she's also in the
Remember
horse
that
girl.
movie? That movie's so weird.
I didn't watch. I mean, I've seen parts of it, and it is very weird.
I just remember she was a horse girl, and then there was a scene where she was naked in the quilt shop.
Yes.
That sums up that movie perfectly.
That's true. She's been doing a lot of indie stuff.
Yeah.
Or just, not huge AAA big budget.
She was just in some Netflix movie with that guy from Insecure.
I've never seen Insecure.
Insecure's really good. It's an HBO show, but he's like his name's Lawrence in that show. I forget what the actor's name is, but he's a very tall, handsome man, and Megan loves him. So
that's the thing that most recently came out.
Yeah, I think so.
The title is slipping my mind.
It was like some love story. It was kind of cheesy. It seemed like, honestly, we didn't finish it. We started it, and the reason we stopped watching it was because it felt like a Hallmark movie with like good actors.
Wait, really?
Yeah, for real. Because even the story was like a Hallmark movie. It was
Somebody
like,
I used to know?
that might be it. That might be it.
I mean, that's the thing she most recently made.
I think that is it. Because it's like she works in Hollywood and then comes back to her small town and then meets her old ex-boyfriend, who is this handsome man who we were just talking about. And then they hit it off.
Danny Pudi's in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know if we got that far into the movie. That's how quickly we turned it off. Anyways, what were you talking about?
So I love Alison Brie. And I had a dream a couple days ago in which I was her cousin.
Oh.
And I was invited.
That's awkward.
I was invited to her wedding, and I'm pretty sure her and Dave Franco have been married for quite a while.
They have been, yes.
But in this dreamscape, she was not married, and then she was getting married, and then I was invited to the wedding, and I was just like so happy and excited, and it just felt so real to me because like I was at a wedding with my family, but also there were like celebrities.
Wow.
So again, I got Community on the brain at all times, but I saw Ken Jeong, and I'm like, I stood up, I'm like, hey, get over here. Like had a conversation with him, and then at some point I woke up, and it like honestly took me several days to just come to terms with the fact that I'm not related to Alison Brie. It's like one of those dreams where it just like has a lasting impact on you.
It took you several days to come to terms with the fact that you are not cousins with your biggest celebrity crush.
Yes.
Wow, what a twist. How many twists and turns was your brain going through this week? It sounds like a lot. That's a lot to wrap your head around.
It has been a fairly packed week.
Yeah.
I mean, just you guys will find out in the coming weeks. This is probably the 6th episode we've recorded in the span of a week.
Yeah, we're trying to hit it hard. Getting this podcast rolling, getting it really churning, getting the engines burning. I'm rhyming now, but
you are.
Just trying to put in the work, get in the grind, grow this bitch, let it roll.
Lots of fun, exciting guests for you guys to listen to. We want to make it clear we didn't record 6 episodes of just us talking to each other.
No, we would never want to put you through that torture of having to listen to 6 extra episodes of just us talking. No, we've got some exciting guests on the way, so definitely be on the lookout for that. All you unremarkables out there, just staying tuned, staying locked in, because we've got some good shit coming. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But just between that and everything with the move, I've just been on a different plane when I'm sleeping. And
what have you been doing? You've been taking something before sleep? You've been taking Ambien?
I've been taking some allergy medication.
That's it. That's what's
just
shaking you up.
Just like a handful of Benadryl before I go to bed.
You've been lucid dreaming?
Oh, I remembered the fucking cool. All right, this is gonna be lame to 99.99% of people that hear this. But to me, this was incredibly exciting. Have you seen Better Call Saul?
Nope.
Great show. You should watch it.
Okay.
When I was, I think, sophomore year of college, I watched a lot of it with Ben, and then I kind of fell off with it, didn't keep up, and so I haven't seen like the last 2 to 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And so last night I was like, you know what? I'm in a fresh apartment, fresh TV. Let's kickstart this thing.
New apartment, new you. Let's go.
And I had remembered this part from several years back when the series first started. But the first episode of season 1 starts with a flashback, a flashback of the main character, Jimmy, or Saul Goodman, whatever you want to call him.
Sure.
And he's working as a manager at a Cinnabon. And it's just like a 5-minute sequence of him just like doing very mundane tasks as a Cinnabon manager.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, it kind of does like a full shot of the Cinnabon.
Yeah,
the Cinnabon's
it
in a
zooms
mall.
out, kind of. Yeah, pans out.
Yeah. And you can see 3 digital menu boards.
Okay.
And if you don't know me, for work, I work for a company that does software for digital menu boards.
Very exciting.
And Cinnabon is a customer that we work with. And so I saw those. I'm sitting with Emily. I'm like, those might be our menu boards. Those have to be ours. And she just laughed at me. But I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Because I watched this several years before I got this job, and there I was looking at our menu boards. But there's several, there's hundreds of menu board providers out there. And so when I got to work today, I was talking to some of my coworkers who've been with the company for almost a decade, and I'm like, I was watching Better Call Saul. They have menu boards. Does anyone know? And I was Googling it. So it's in the show. It's supposed to be this Cinnabon's supposed to be set in Nebraska.
Yeah.
It was actually filmed at a place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where like all of the shooting does. I'm like, does anyone know if we had or still have a Cinnabon in Albuquerque, New Mexico? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, why are you asking? I'm like, well, here's why. Better Call Saul.
They're famous.
And my coworker was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember they had to have us like go back and like dig up some old content for them to like, because it was like kind of like a flashback. So they were putting up like older menus.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we totally work with them.
That's crazy.
Right?
So the company you work for put up the menu boards in the opening scene of Better Call Saul. So if you see those, you know it's this guy who put that together. He's the sole reason that you can enjoy that scene.
By transitive property, sure, it was all me. Funny thing is that Cinnabon's been closed since like 2018.
Wait, really? Mm-hmm. I never heard about this.
What do you mean you never heard about it?
Cinnabon is done?
No,
There's no more Cinnabons?
This singular store.
Oh, okay. The
and
store.
So they didn't like tear down this because it's in a mall. They didn't tear it down. They've like left it open. But what they were doing, because they were still filming up until like 2022, I think. Yeah. And I think every season they had the Cinnabon for whatever reason.
So they had to go back.
Yeah, and so they actually would like fly, like deliver all the food and stuff, and like get like real employees to just staff it for a couple days for filming.
That's so interesting.
So they're no longer our customer, but I can confidently say that they once were, and we are part of Better Call Saul.
Wow, you're a part of history. You made your impact. People are always searching for their purpose, their way to make an impact on the world during their existence. You've done that now. You've left your footprint on this planet.
I have.
That's it.
I was in college.
Congratulations.
I mean, I guess that makes me feel semi-okay.
That's a pretty cool fun fact.
Right?
Yeah.
Most people think I'm a nerd.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I remember like first getting out of college being so passionate about like what you're working on, like in your day job, because like before that all you had was schoolwork. So now you have something new to focus on. So every time you'd see like something related to the product that you're like working with, you're like, whoa, this thing, I know about this. That has since faded a little bit, but you know.
I have since day one, and my boss listens to this, so I'm not trying to spruce it up for him. Every single time I'm out and about, if I'm near a Cinnabon, if I'm near an Auntie Anne's, if I'm in like an airport, and I see one of these kind of like fast casual dessert style, I'm like, those are our menu boards, and I get so excited about them.
I get it. I still get the same thing. Like I work with hearing aids, and I like I'll see people be like, wonder if those are ours.
Do you ever like?
But I don't see that many old people, so it doesn't really come up.
Do you ever like take them out of their ears?
Yeah,
like,
and I go, "What is this?
Is this a Starkey? Oh, it's not." Yeah, you just toss it.
Is this a Rick?
Is that like a?
Yeah. Don't ask. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't understand it.
I feel like someday I will need hearing aids.
Oh yeah, I think most people will. I feel like, hearing aids aren't something to be ashamed of. They should, it's like glasses. It's something you need.
just the look you gave me. You shouldn't be
true.
ashamed.
It's
They're
true.
just like glasses.
It's true. It's like your eyes don't work very well, so you need glasses. If your ears don't work very well, you need hearing aids or some sort of assistance to help you function better.
But how come we don't have these products en masse for other senses that are deteriorated?
Like smell?
Yeah.
You just stick a couple tubes up your nose. These are my smell tubes.
It's got to be a thing. And if it's not, why are we sitting here recording a podcast when we have $1 million idea?
You're right. You're right.
Wait, how many people can't smell?
I don't know if that's really it.
What about taste?
I don't know, man. I mean, all those COVID survivors out there who might still be missing their taste.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or people who dress like Elliott. I'm actually really
That's
like.
funny. That's great.
I really like your.
That's great. My mom bought me this sweatshirt.
It's a really nice. It's a really nice sweater.
Thank you. I think I got it as a gift for Christmas.
Madam Marks, and it's a wonderful sweater. It's
is.
an Eddie Bauer.
Eddie Bauer.
Too.
Eddie Bauer.
Wow.
She didn't go cheap on it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
So that's enough about Better Call Saul and Cinnabon and Allison Brie, and I'm still recovering. And Woik. What did you do this past week?
What did I do this past week? I did my taxes.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I had my tax appointment. Got it all done.
I did my taxes the first day you were allowed to file. In
really?
Minnesota and federal, yeah.
Look at you, ahead of the game.
I just don't have much to it.
Yeah, you just don't have that many. See, like, because I'm married, we file jointly or whatever, so we have to bring in all of our paperwork. We got the house. You got so much stuff once you get married and you have a house and you have all this stuff. And then don't even talk about once the baby comes, because it's a whole nother thing.
I thought they tossed dependents, like claiming a dependent. I thought that was donezo.
I don't know.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty
That's
sure
not what the tax lady said.
Really?
Yeah, she mentioned.
What does this tax lady know that I don't?
I mean, she does taxes for a living.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Besides the taxes, I also got new flooring in the gym in my basement, so that was very exciting.
Bro,
shout out to the Swans, Big Swan and Little Swan. Shout out them. Shout out the Swans. They know who they are.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like a company.
No. Megan's uncle and cousin are good at putting things together, such as flooring. They did this carpet that we're sitting on right now.
It's very great.
They're very
great
handy,
carpet.
very nice people, and they came in and helped us out with our gym. So that looks really nice. Got this nice rubber flooring on there now, so it's like a real gym. It smells like rubber in there.
It does smell like a gym.
Yeah. It smells like if you walked into Planet Fitness. That's what my gym smells like.
Instantly felt worse about myself stepping in there.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. No, I'm stoked about it because I can't wait to get everything set up perfectly. Right now, it's still a little bit of a mess because I just did it yesterday. So, it's not a quick turnaround to set all the weights back and everything. We got to put it back in order, and then we're ready to roll. Then we can start hitting the iron in the basement again.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever played racquetball?
No.
Do you want to get into it?
Sure.
My apartment.
Where did this come from?
My apartment has a racquetball gym.
Is that like when you're indoors and you're surrounded by walls, right? And you're just hitting the... I don't even know how to play that.
Neither do I, but it cannot be that hard, right?
Yeah, you're just hitting a ball against a wall.
We'll need to get you fitted for some pretty tight, small shorts.
Okay. I think I have some.
No.
I'll get tighter and smaller.
I got a guy.
How tight? How small? What are we talking about?
We'll make it tight.
2 inch?
We'll
2 inch
make it
shorts?
right.
2 inch seam?
I'm thinking 1.5 inches
1.5?
inseam, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sick. Yeah, that'll fit nice. I love to be popping out of my clothes. Just popping out of them. That's what I like. It's real comfortable.
I'm sure some people would appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's like a single small racquetball gym.
Okay.
It's not like one of those big, massive arenas that you see.
Isn't it like an old person sport thing?
I don't think it's an old person sport. I think it's a wealthy person thing.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's an old person thing because I think it requires a decent amount of mobility.
You're right. It is wealthy. I feel like I've only seen it in movies. I don't think I've actually ever seen people play it in real life. But in movies, it's always like the CEO goes on his daily 2-hour break to go play racquetball.
Yeah, exactly.
And then his employees joining him to discuss the big deal they're trying to crack.
Yeah, that's all it's ever been. That's all it's ever will be. But I mean, I've only ever seen it in on a TV show, specifically Brooklyn Nine-Nine is where I've seen it.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah.
But I think we should get into it, and I think if there's a tournament, we can wipe the floor with people.
Heck yeah, we could get ranked. Enter a tournament, win some money.
Yeah.
Get some hardware. We need some hardware.
We do. We need we got a sorry lack of trophies behind us.
Once we enter this big racquetball competition, after we've obviously put in some work, put in some practice, out on the courts, hard sweat, blood, tears, everything like that.
Hard.
Not that soft sweat, blood and tears. And we earn that hardware. We're going to display it right here for all of you to see.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful.
Just you stay tuned.
It's going to be amazing. I hope we earn matching t-shirts.
I hope so too.
That's honestly the best thing. If you ever win anything ever, I don't want a medal. I don't want a trophy. I want a t-shirt. Give me a t-shirt.
I do like t-shirts. Free t-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirt rewards. I don't get a lot of them. Well,
Yeah.
I was never good enough.
That tracks. That tracks.
All right, I want to move on from this stupid fucking t-shirt discussion.
All right.
It's making me feel bad.
Okay. We can move on to our recommendation of the week.
I have one.
Yay!
I told you I didn't have one at the start of this, but I had one.
You got one.
If you haven't seen this yet, I highly recommend that you should watch a TV show on HBO called Barry.
Barry.
You've seen Barry, right?
I have seen Barry.
They just released a trailer for season 4.
Okay, yeah.
Which is the finale.
That's the last season?
Yeah, last season. But I think that's good.
Yeah. I don't like when shows drag out.
And speaking of which, you like Ted Lasso, right?
Yes.
They're doing season 3 is coming out in a couple weeks. That is also
in a couple weeks?
Season. Yeah.
Oh.
Then it's done.
That's also the last season?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing, dude. How many seasons did they even do? Isn't that like only like the third season?
That will be season 3, and that'll be the end.
Wow. That's too bad.
Incredibly disappointing, but
It's probably Olivia Wilde's fault.
This is going to help me confront my issues with endings,
Yeah.
I've always had a problem with that with TV shows, video games, movies, whatever.
Life.
Life. I hate when life just ends on you.
Hate it.
But to get back to Barry, it's a very good TV show. It is done by Bill Hader.
Yes.
Some people probably know him from SNL.
SNL.
But he's actually very good at drama as well.
He is.
So Barry is like a comedy drama.
Dark comedy, probably.
Dramedy?
Sure.
Comedy, I think, is the actual term.
Yeah.
Bill Hader plays the main character. His name's Barry. And he is a professional hitman that tries to get away from that life and get into acting once he moves to Los Angeles.
Yes.
And so the story just unfolds from there. It is very, very well done. Kind of tugs at the heartstrings at places. Kind of makes you cringe at some places. But the entire time, it's just such a wild ride. And so when I saw the trailer for season 4 and saw that it was the end, I was like, fuck. Because I feel like we only had it for so long.
I know.
Meanwhile, you got these TV shows like How I Met Your Mother getting like a fucking spin-off.
Yeah.
And that thing's going to run for 10 seasons.
Like, why?
It's like, who's making these decisions?
I don't know.
Certainly
It's
not
all
the
about
people.
money, man. It's all about money. But Barry's so good, dude. Like, the premise itself is so funny, but like when you actually start watching it, like it's really good. Like, it's a little silly to think about an ex-assassin trying to follow his dreams and become an actor, but then gets mixed up in different situations and things get hairy here and there. But
They do get quite hairy.
they get quite hairy. But it's a great show. It's a good recommendation for sure.
Thank
Definitely
you.
worth the watch.
Thank you.
Bill Hader is far more talented than I feel like people give him credit for.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that people I don't think he's hated on.
Yeah, no, he's not hated on, but you
I
don't
just
hear
think-
people talking about Bill Hader.
I think if they talk about Bill Hader, they're purely viewing him from like the comedic lens,
Right.
when you should take a step back, realize he's just a great actor.
I heard him talking about like his time in SNL and how he would get so nervous before every single performance. Like he'd be outside like chain smoking cigarettes or something.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like so nervous. Similar to you before this podcast starts.
Yeah, I smoke a pack before
Yeah,
every
you get
episode.
your Marlbreads out and you go step outside and you smoke a quick 20.
I'm actually more of a Newport guy.
Newports, huh?
Yeah.
Newport cigs.
Oh, I miss working at Walgreens, and you can tell when someone walks up to the counter, wants to order cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know exactly what they're getting.
Dude, I got that too because I used to work at a gas station.
Yeah.
So like you'd walk in and you can kind of like you'd play the game like what kind of cigs are they gonna buy? This person kind of looks like a Camel Blues type of person. Yeah. The Pall Malls.
Did you ever
Trucker walks in, talks like this. He's getting Pall Malls.
Did you ever have like a regular that you're like, ma'am or sir, you need to stop or you're gonna die?
Yes, but not with smoking. It was like this guy. He'd come in every single night. Every night. He was a short man. He was an alcoholic, so this has to do with the alcohol. So he'd come in
Okay.
every single night. He'd buy a case of beer, so like at least 12 or 18. I can't remember what it was. So every single night he's coming in and buying a case of beer. And this man was a small man. He had a big beer belly, and he had like a deep raspy voice. And like he'd come in, he was always nice, but he was just coming in getting his case of beer every single night. And I just kept thinking like, man, just stop.
Well, I hope
Unless he was just throwing a party every night.
could
I don't
be.
know. Maybe he's just a big partier. I have no idea.
Or maybe he runs his own estate. Maybe he's sober and runs his own bar and just
Could
needs
be.
to restock from time to
Could
time.
be. But
gonna
the
choose to
signs
believe
were
it.
there that I hope that man is doing well. He drove like a really nice car, so hopefully he's
Oh.
doing all right.
I had an elderly woman who was kind of cranky, but you kind of expect that with older folks.
Yeah.
But she would always come in and she'd always bring a cart with her because within her cart, that's where she put her oxygen tank. Because she was constantly, hooked up to oxygen to help her breathe. And she's like wheezing the whole time. But that never stopped her from buying a carton of cigarettes every week.
How could it?
And at first it's like, this is kind of comical, this is kind of silly. But then it's like, oh man, this is just really sad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think she's probably at the point where cigarettes aren't really the thing that's killing her,
Right. Right.
She's probably
There's
too,
probably
too,
something
too
else
far
now.
gone. But you just, can't help but wonder if maybe you could help her stop. Maybe you could say, "Sorry, lady, someone else bought the other remaining 5 cartons of, I think some type of menthol." But
Probably Parliaments.
they might
Virginia Slims.
have- No, she wasn't. She wasn't a
Benson and Hedges.
no shit. We had, and this probably means nothing to anyone who's like never sold cigarettes.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I only ever heard of Benson Hedges because I worked at Walgreens.
Yeah.
And we only had a single pack,
Yeah.
and it was covered in dust.
Oh.
It was like disgusting. It had like stains on it. It was because no one ever bought it.
Right. That's like that is like the most out there, off the wall brand of cigarettes you can think of. The only time I ever sold one, and I sold it one time, and it was to this like businessman. He was in a full 3-piece suit. He comes in, he's got like the slick back hair. He looks the part, and he comes in. He's like, "Can I get a pack of Benson and Hedges?" And at first, I never sold them. I was like, "What is that? Like, what do you need?"
That sounds like 2 kids, like one stacked on top of the other, with like a trench coat, trying to pretend to be an adult.
That's what it was. It was 3 kids stacked on top of the other. No, but I mean, honestly, if you're going to dress like that, you might as well smoke cigarettes that sound like it's a law firm.
That's true.
Benson and Hedges.
And with Virginia Slims, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
I feel like that was always like a plantation owner.
No. I had like a
like an 80-year-old heiress to like the.
it was
the
always
family
like an
farm.
old lady
Yeah.
that would come in and buy the Virginia Slims.
Yeah, because honestly, the packaging is pretty cute.
Yeah, no, oh for sure. That Virginia Slims has some sleek packaging, some good branding on there. If you are gonna smoke, wouldn't recommend. But my recommendation of the week.
You guys have never heard of these. Go out and try them for yourselves.
I used to be a smoker, and I would do like research on like what the best cigarettes are.
Dude, you and every other 19-year-old smoked American
I
Spirits.
I started on American Spirits because that's what all the cool, free-spirited kids were doing. But then as I matured in my cigarette smoking, I switched over to the old Turkish Royals, the Camel Turkish Royals, which I somehow went down this rabbit hole on the internet and ended up looking up like what the good cigarettes were, and ended up on the cigarette forum talking about like what the best ones are, and people kept dropping Turkish Royals, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm in, let's go. And that was a good 2 years of my life.
You smoked for 2 years?
Off and on, yeah.
Off and on. I mean, I don't think you were ever like a pack-a-day guy.
No, never was. Never would be. It was disgusting. Wouldn't recommend. That's my anti-recommendation of the week is smoking.
But if you're going to do it, you can't do wrong with Virginia Slims.
This podcast is sponsored by... No, my actual recommendation of the week is an app. And I may have talked about this before. It's called Music Board.
You definitely did talk about this.
Did I talk about this on the podcast?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well, I'm going to recommend it to everybody.
Okay.
This app is essentially... It's similar to Letterboxd, where you're just rating music instead of movies. So if you listen to an album and you enjoy it, you can rate it 5 stars. You can leave a review and make it funny or serious. A lot of people take it way too seriously, though. So like if you go through Music Board and look at like people's reviews, they all think they're Anthony Fantano. They all do. They all think they're these music critics because they post these like long ass reviews saying like blah 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 blah. And don't look at mine because it's similar to that. I post a lot of serious reviews.
Okay.
You can follow me at Impossibly L on Music Board.
You use our branding?
Yeah, I even put our website link in my bio. I got to get it out there. I got to get our pod out there. I have I get a follower every once in a while. I think I have a total of like 8 followers.
Honestly, not bad. I'm assuming you're like not putting.
But I know
out there
0
anymore.
of them, so yeah, I've never even advertised myself on there until now. So
I'm on it there. Yeah, I'm on there.
you're on there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a follow later.
Follow me
I
at
can't wait to see your review.
John-Virginia Slims.
You gotta. Yeah, you are now known as Johnny Virginia Slims.
I've never wanted to be sponsored by a cigarette brand ever until this moment. But
Johnny
now
Slims,
I'm just
baby.
thinking about it, because like, and not to like talk about cigarettes forever, but I know when we had disagreements about smoking, like when we were younger.
Yeah.
You just keep talking about how cool it looks.
Yeah.
But what I do think is cool is like the propaganda.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the marketing materials, especially like back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
when people were like really figuring out, hey, this is really terrible for us. That's when Surgeon General warnings coming out and whatnot. But then companies had to try to pivot and be like, we taste great.
It tastes good.
We'll kill you, but we taste great. And so I just like that kind of marketing.
Yeah. You're a big cig guy. I could see it.
I've never ever smoked a cigarette in my life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on.
I've smoked several cigars.
We're going to go out and get a pack of cigs right now. You're going to smoke them on camera.
Next episode, it's just going to be you and I.
Just me and you chain smoking cigarettes.
Only cigars, and even then, like, very few to completion.
Honestly, dude, like, smoking is really gross. Anything is really gross.
It really is. And especially, like, when we were younger, like, we'd buy, like, one or two, and then we'd, like, pass them around. So you're just, like
a
sucking
cigar?
on people's
Yeah.
saliva. It's disgusting.
Pre-COVID times, you would never do
Yeah.
that now, but... we would like just get a big fat cigar and there'd be like 6 people in a circle passing it like we're cool, and it's just like a fat cheap cigar that costs like $7 and it tastes awful. It tastes like wood chips.
There's no like there's like not even a buzz. It's like
yeah, no.
There's no
Like
benefit.
what we're even doing it for? We weren't getting anything out of it.
I remember
And you're just like taking a hit, and then you're just also soaking up all the spit from the previous guy who just had it.
I can't remember if you were with me when this happened, but before we went to college, I was dating a girl, and I just one day randomly went to like a local smoke shop with her dad, and we each got a couple cigars or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it was like to celebrate going to college or something like that.
Sure.
But so like I was supposed to smoke it with him, never did. We broke up. I brought it to college, and in Eau Claire on the river, there's this rock called Putnam Rock.
Wait, yes, I think I was there for that.
I was like, you have to be there for that. This like rock that like juts out onto the river.
Yeah.
It's very nice, very scenic,
Very beautiful.
and we like lit up the cigar because I'd brought it, and I took like 1 or 2 puffs of it. And I'm like, this is fucking gross, and don't do this, but I just whipped it into the river.
It was symbolic of you burning your pain and tossing it away,
Maybe.
letting it go.
Or it was just fully literal in that it's just a way to say cigars are awful.
They are, but they're kind of fun sometimes. I still like one every once in a while. Like at my wedding, you remember at my wedding we had a whole cigar bar.
There was a cigar bar. I didn't partake.
You would have probably been the only one.
Really?
I saw people smoking cigars that I'd never even thought I would ever see smoke a cigar.
I don't think I did. I know. Ben
I'm pretty sure
did.
Megan's mom even smoked a cigar.
Really?
I don't know if she smoked a whole one, but
Jody. Really?
I'm sure she'll let me know if that actually happened. So recommendation of the week, music board. Download that shit. If you like music, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
We're gonna rebrand the podcast to Smoke It Up.
Smoke it up with Johnny Slims.
It's just every episode we're just like this hazy room.
It's just a haze. But we're just smoking cigs. Straight cigs. Just darts.
Today we're reviewing Manson and Hedges.
We're a cigarette reviewing podcast.
This pack was manufactured in 1985.
Wow, these are the Marlboro NXTs. Let's see how these taste.
I did like weren't those like the kind of futuristic boxing?
Yeah.
So stupid. So stupid.
They all kind of taste the same.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'd assume.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let's move on. I think we talked way more about cigarettes than I was ever intending to. But we can move on to question of the day if you're okay with that.
Yeah, you got a question for me?
I do. I do have a burning question for you. Okay. If you were arrested,
Okay.
what do you think your friends and family would assume you were arrested for? They don't know what you've been arrested for. They've just heard you've been arrested. What do you think that they would assume you've been arrested for?
Maybe some form of like traffic accident.
Trafficking?
No,
This
probably.
Andrew Tate motherfucker. I'm just kidding.
So as a kid, I like had this fear that I was gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
Like that I was just gonna like up and kill someone accidentally, and then it was like my life would be. I don't know.
Life's over.
I was never like as a kid. I'm like I'm gonna fucking kill someone on purpose. But it was just like one of those fears, like tornadoes. I always thought my house was going to be demolished by a tornado.
It was one of those things you thought would be a bigger deal than
Yeah.
it ended up being in everyday life.
Yeah, and it turns out like it's fairly easy to keep your nose clean.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to stay out of jail.
But I think those who know me might assume that it's probably some like car accident or like some road rage. Because
Yeah.
I can get pretty frustrated.
I could see that, actually.
I've never gotten to the point where like, I'm going to take you out. But sometimes just it, crosses like crosses the back of your head. Like,
You're right.
Maybe I'll do the pit
You're
maneuver.
definitely that guy. Like if I'm riding your ass, if I'm like tailgating you, and then like I just whip around you, I cut you off, and then you like honk your horn, and then you somehow get us pulled over to the side, and you run out of your car with a crowbar, and you're ready for business. Like that's you.
So here, I don't think I would ever get out of my car.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I am just like kind of pathetic.
Kind of a pussy?
I'm not really like physically imposing.
Sure.
I'm not a violent person.
You're a big guy.
I mean, like I'm tall and fat, but like not like.
Don't say that.
I'm not gonna. I don't scare you when I walk, across the street.
Sure.
But I can see myself. Hopefully, this never happens. But just getting in an accident because someone did something like hit me, and then maybe I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna hit you back or something like that.
Wow.
And I would never do that. But
Obviously not.
if I went to jail, I think someone might assume that's what could have caused it, because I don't really see myself going to jail for any other reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see you loitering.
Okay.
All right, buddy. That's enough standing around.
I don't like
You're
to
coming
stand
downtown.
in one place for too long.
That's true. You're a mover. You're always on the move.
But I mean, I honestly, I should probably work on it, but I do get quite frustrated driving.
I think a lot of people do. We've talked about this a little bit on the podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Road rage. It's a big thing. And in America, you can't just like you said, don't get out of your car. You don't know who's out there. People got guns in this country.
That is very true. Because like when I first started driving, and like if my mom was in the car or if Emily was in the car, and if someone like cut me off or did something really stupid, because I've had like honestly a fair number of close calls in which I almost got hit.
Yeah.
Not through my own fault, but the default is to flip the bird.
For sure.
But it's happened to me, or it's happened to my mom, where when she was younger, she was driving with my dad, and I think he had flipped someone off for like cutting him off, and that person followed them for like miles.
Oh, I believe it.
Because in America, you never know who's going to fucking
people are
make
crazy,
make
man.
it their mission to scare you or attack you. But this is something I learned in Europe. Drivers are way more aggressive. Just the driving part.
Yeah.
Like people are fucking crazy, but there's like no follow up.
Yeah. Like they don't like confrontation out there.
There's no like revenge hitting. There's no like I'm gonna drive to your home. At least
I mean, that would be scary if there was. I can't imagine driving in Germany and then an angry German man comes after you. That would be terrifying.
Yeah. It seems like people are a little more level headed.
Yeah.
And the only reason people are driving like wackos is that it's just the norm,
Do you remember did you take like those driver's classes like before your permit test or whatever?
No.
I remember taking one, and so I didn't take it through our high school. I took it separately like over the summer or something because I had a fall birthday. But I remember them showing us like this video about the dangers of angry driving, and there was this it was this video about this guy who went to jail because he got angry and shot some dude with a crossbow.
When?
Like they were driving, he had it in his car.
He just had a crossbow.
And then he got road rage, got angry, pulled out his crossbow and killed the dude.
Oh.
And I remember thinking this is what driving's like? This is what we have to look forward to? A young 15-year-old me, not knowing yet what driving really is like.
Why a crossbow?
I don't know. Could you imagine? You're like frustrated driving, angry, and you're riding this dude's ass, and then he whips over, makes you cuts you off and pulls you over on the shoulder, and then he whips out a crossbow.
Because I'm thinking they're driving parallel, and he just pulls out the crossbow, shoots through his window, through the other guy's window, and then kills him.
That would be something out of John Wick.
Yeah.
But in this case, I believe that they were both stopped on the side somehow. So I think somehow they had both come to either they made a collision or one of them had steered the other to the side, when you're like going parallel, and then you can kind of cut them off and make them go that way, and then you're pulled over on the shoulder, and then you have the upper hand. You can get out of your car and get whatever weapon you've got. In this case, it was a crossbow.
That's a less cool way to die.
A less cool way to die?
I mean, if
crossbow?
you're just, like, pulled over on the highway and like you get out of your car and then someone gets out of their car and shoots you with a crossbow.
I don't want to die on the highway.
Neither would I, because, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about this, but I've definitely told Emily, my fiance, if I die in a car accident, do not memorialize me on the side of the road.
No, don't do that.
That is so fucking disgraceful. You know when you're like driving on like a long highway, like driving to Eau Claire, and you see like a cross and some flowers?
What do you mean it's disgraceful?
No.
I don't know if it's disgraceful, but I just don't
I would feel
want
disgraced
my grave on the side of the highway.
All right, imagine I like bend my car around a tree.
Yeah.
And I fucking die there.
And that's your tree now.
So let me phrase it this way.
Yeah.
If you had a heart attack and dropped dead at the gym, are they going to construct a memorial on the treadmill?
Actually, now that you say it, that sounds pretty cool.
No.
If I die on the weight bench, I want that bench memorialized. No one else can ever use it. It is dead Elliott's bench.
If I died in a car accident, I would be mad if there was an afterlife at my family and friends who chose to remember me at the spot where I died. Because more than likely, if you're dying on the road in an accident, it's probably you're gonna like die in like a ditch or something.
It's true.
Like where people throw their litter, where people get out of their car to take a piss or shit when it's 10 miles to the rest stop.
I think what Johnny Slims is trying to say is that don't remember him for how he dies. Remember him for how he lived.
Yes, and it's Johnny Virgin. Slims.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
But, I mean, don't you just like feel like a little bit sad when you drive by and you see like a very poorly constructed memorial?
It's usually just like, it's usually falling apart 'cause it's probably been there a while. And
like surely there's a graveyard
sometimes there's like fresh
do
flowers or depending, I don't know, but
then your family's got to tend to it and like pull over.
I mean, yeah,
on like
you
the
got
side of a highway.
you got your primary grave, in the graveyard, I would assume. Do I need a second one on the place of where I perished?
No, you don't.
If I drown in the lake, do we want to put a little buoy where I drowned?
Or like if a police officer dies on a highway and then they adopt the highway in their name. Like, come on, man. Do anything else to memorialize someone,
Yeah. Yeah, like memorialize them by buying a star in the sky. Something way more worthwhile.
I might have a star.
Really? Wait, why do I feel like you did purchase a star at some point?
I don't know.
You were totally the guy who would have purchased a star.
I feel like a star was purchased for me. I know I have like a small parcel of land.
This guy has a lot of stuff.
Neil got that for me.
You own a square foot of land in Scotland.
Yeah.
As well as, I believe you own a star up in the sky.
I could. No one knows.
We should buy one for the podcast, a star.
We should.
And then we can point out the star to everybody, saying that's the Impossibly Unremarkable star. Follow it, and you will find us.
Wait, how do you think people would? What do you think people would think about you if you went to jail? Like,
if I went to jail?
Yeah, like what if? I feel like that's a prompt that you need to answer as well.
I guess you're right. I don't know what I would go to jail for. Maybe like, maybe like.
You didn't think about this for
I really didn't.
Second?
I really didn't. I was really hoping yours would just really carry us.
I mean,
I could.
Got us several.
What
minutes.
could you see me going to jail for? You're.
I almost said something really horrible.
Please don't.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You're just a very nice guy. I don't really see you going to jail. But if you did go to jail, probably like a murder suey.
You'd be a murder suey guy.
A hommy.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I feel like I would get arrested for like littering or something.
No, honestly, okay, I'm going to take this. A theft.
Theft?
Like petty theft or something.
You think I'd be a theft guy?
Yeah, like, don't you enjoy like stealing?
No.
Really?
Not at this current time, no.
You've never enjoyed stealing?
When I was like a teenager, you'd like sometimes have a little fun, but it was
okay.
It was nothing crazy. It was like you'd walk into some like major place and like put on a bracelet and walk out. Those are times I definitely regret because what a stupid thing to do. First of all,
I'm locking it in. Theft, petty theft.
I haven't stolen in years. Wouldn't do
Really?
it.
You haven't stolen any yours?
I have my own money now. I don't need to steal.
You've taken my heart.
Wow. That's beautiful.
So either that or like, dealing crack
Murder suey.
or a murder suicide. Although I don't think you'd go to jail for suicide because you're dead.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
A double homie. We'll call it.
Double homie. Yeah, you're a third degree kind of guy. Premeditation.
It is the higher the degree, the worse.
Wait, is that how it works? Wait, is it third or is it
I feel
first
like
the
first
worst
degree is
I might have
worse.
that mixed up.
But now I'm thinking
Now I'm
thinking about burns. I think a
Burns.
third degree burn is worse than a first degree.
Ooh, you arson.
Really?
No.
You
I could see me getting arrested for arson because I have a cool bonfire and it gets out of hand.
You do look like a public masturbation kind of guy.
Stop it. No public massies. No double Murrays.
No puppy massies. No double hommies.
No double hommies. No suey Murrays. None of that.
Spit out my drink.
Yeah. I will hopefully never go to jail because I know I would not do well.
Yeah, if I went to prison long term, I would just kill myself.
Wow. That's noble.
I don't know if noble's the term.
Yeah,
I would
that's
use.
maybe not the right word for it. That's maybe not the right word.
I just I would not survive.
No.
I am very bad at discipline.
Yeah.
So the moment they hose me down, cavity search.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't live with it.
Oh, that's when you would give up. As soon as you get in there and they search you,
Yeah.
that's when you're done.
Yeah.
Not when you're in the yard and the scary other prisoners are making eyes at you.
Why would I want to get to that point?
I mean, no one wants to get to that point, but you're gonna get there. How are you gonna? You're gonna kill yourself before you're gonna unalive yourself between getting searched and entering your cell for the first time.
If I could find a way,
They'd be like, "Dang, that was the quickest
only
suey
way
we've ever
the only
seen
way
here."
I could survive is if because I think I'm a pretty persuasive person.
Sure.
I obviously don't have the physical manpower,
Yeah.
but if I could talk myself into a leadership role
Okay. Yeah.
in one of the pre-existing gangs,
Ooh.
maybe then I could have a chance.
I hate to break it to you, but there's only one gang you could join.
All right, how about on to bizarre news?
Let's move on to bizarre news.
I sent you an article, and it's a quick conversation piece in which I would like to have a discussion about it
Okay.
because it's something I've thought about before.
Sweet.
So in China, there was this dude that 9 years ago, he died in a car accident,
Oh no.
and so
Did they
had
memorialize him on the side of the road?
probably.
I'm just kidding. Continue.
Probably. But he died in a car accident. I think his name is Zhao. Died in 2014. They cremated him. They cremated the body that they found. And then 9 years later, they said, whoever found this guy said he was acting strangely in a village. And then they found this guy. They tested his DNA. Turns out he is the dude that was supposedly declared dead 9 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. He's alive?
He's alive. So this man... So my first question is, who the fuck did they cremate?
Yeah.
Whose body was that?
What?
And then also, this guy never took a time to try to find his family?
I guess not. Maybe he took it as wow, they think I'm dead. I can really do anything now.
That's what I want to ask.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, assume that Megan and your child are not a part of this. Let's go to a timeline in which that never happened.
Alternate universe.
Alternate universe. If you're presumed dead at some point,
Yes.
or if you fake your death,
Ooh, that's tough to do these days, but
do you take advantage of that? Do you fresh start it, or do you just try to get right back into your old life?
okay, so there's two sides of this coin. There's two sides of this leaf we can turn over to.
All right.
There's two
Stalling.
opposing
Stalling for time.
sides of the fence. No, for actually though, so on one hand, I could make a whole new life for myself, right?
Yeah, that was one.
No
of the options.
consequences. On the other hand, I could see the look on everyone's face when I come back
That's true.
from the dead.
I would try to attend my funeral.
Ooh,
And I feel like we talked about this on maybe the first episode,
Could
maybe
be.
the episode that never released.
maybe.
But we talked about attending your own funeral.
Yeah.
And I would do that. I would love to do that.
You want to see the reactions of the people?
Yeah, I want to see if people are actually sad, if they actually cared.
Yeah.
Emily,
So you'd come in with a disguise, right?
Yeah.
You got like those glasses with the mustache and the big nose, and you're coming in, and nobody knows who you are, and you're just there. Are you mingling? Are you trying to be like, hey, this guy was a total piece of shit,
No,
wasn't he?
I would keep to the back, but honestly, I wonder where my funeral would be held.
Probably in a church.
I need to ask people what they would do if I died today.
Can I get like a cooler venue for my funeral?
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what I
thinking
mean?
like a First Ave.
Yeah, I'm thinking, can we book out First Ave? Can we get like, can I book the Armory for my funeral?
Maybe.
I want a massive 8,000 people. Just market it as like Kendrick Lamar's coming to town or something, but really it's just my funeral.
Small asterisk. This is actually a funeral.
Not actually Kendrick.
I mean, that's the kind of vibe you should want to go for, like party.
Oh yeah,
so
I want
it's
it to
not
be big. I want it
super
to be
depressing.
I want it to be spectacular almost. I want there to be maybe fireworks, maybe some confetti work, you know? Something that really puts my funeral above all the other dead people's funerals. I want people to leave and go, that was the best funeral I've ever been
People
to.
are going to be talking about your funeral for
Until they
decades to
die,
come.
until their funeral,
Yeah.
they're going to be talking about it. But I think my decision would be to leave and never see anybody ever again.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
I mean, just think about it, man. Although, how does that even work? What do I do with my social security? I don't have a social security card. How do I get a job?
You try to leave the country.
Yeah, I guess.
Go
No, that
somewhere
seems
where
too
it's-
hard. I changed my mind. That seems so difficult.
You wouldn't even try to forge like a new identity. You wouldn't come up with a new name.
I'd try. Okay, I'd give it a try.
If your name wasn't Elliott, what would your name be?
Glenn.
Stupid. You don't
It
look
would
like
not be Glenn. It would
You
not
don't
be
look
Glenn.
like a Glenn.
No, I don't. What would my name be if it wasn't Elliott?
What to pick? What to pick?
I would go with like something sick, like Harrison.
Harrison is not sick.
Pretty sick.
No, I would go with like Spartan.
It's not a name. It's not a name.
You look like a Spartan.
Yeah, I feel like I'd give it a try. So I'd try to forge that new life for myself, and then I mean, honestly, if it doesn't work out, you can always come back,
That's
and
true.
then that just makes the return even better.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to, like, if you're presumed dead but you're really alive, you don't want to, blow your load immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
You want some build-up. You want people
wanna
to
build
be like,
it up.
oh, he's gone, and then, like, try to adjust to their life, and, like,
Right.
they're in
You want
therapy,
that-
and they're
you want-
trying to work through
Yeah,
the issues.
they're-
And then, boom, once they finally have a breakthrough, that's when you're there.
Exactly. I want them to be so traumatized by my death that they have so many issues that I could then come back and put them through a whole nother hell they didn't even know existed.
So fucked up. Okay.
No, honestly though, like if you died and I thought you were dead and then you came back, I'd be stoked about it.
I mean, yeah, I would.
I'd be pretty excited.
I
I'd
would,
be like, he's back.
I would hope so. I would hope that you.
Do you
can.
imagine on this podcast if you passed away, we went hiatus for a while, and then you came back?
I would just imagine like you recording, like assuming you don't keep this thing going if I die.
We'll see.
I'm picturing you're sitting in this basement alone. It's like dark. You're recording
Yeah.
like the final episode,
The final ep.
and then when you go to turn on the lights, I'm just in the corner. You know,
Like Nosferatu,
kind of like a Babadook.
a Babadook sort of character, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's your ghost or something. I'd be like, ghosts are real!
I would love.
He's
I
there!
would love to try to like haunt people, like Kyle. I would probably haunt him for
Oh, yeah.
a while. Just like stand out. I mean, I know where he lives. Just stand outside his window.
Absolutely.
Like throw rocks and then just like kind of like wear like a ghostly outfit.
Yeah, what does that mean? A sheet?
No, I wouldn't I wouldn't look like a cartoon ghost.
Yeah.
I would just like translucent, pillowy, flowing
Sure.
clothing.
Maybe you got a tear in your clothes a little bit. Chains?
Yeah,
Chains? They're like swinging and clanging and clinking.
Yeah, I'm a Christmas Carol ghost.
Hey, if anyone's going to believe it, Kyle would believe that you are Christmas past.
It would take me 3 minutes to gaslight him into thinking I'm a real ghost. I'm gazing at the time. I'm seeing that we're running out of it.
Oh, boy.
But
That's always the case,
it's been
isn't it?
fun. I've had a lot of laughs this time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Normally,
it was a good time.
Normally I don't enjoy
Yeah,
this.
normally I hate this.
But do you have any closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts, once again, don't smoke. It's bad for you. It's
But
not
if you're
good.
going to, pick up Virginia Slims.
Yes, that is right. Straight from Johnny Slim's mouth. But have a good day, everybody. Be safe out there and think about what you would go to prison for.